Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm Damon Campbell with HotNewHipHop.com here in Chicago with some very special guests. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Chachi Bonavucci, a.k.a. Problem in the building.
Bad luck.
Great to meet you guys. Definitely appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Now, Problem, a lot of people know you from your Mollywood mixtapes, although I understand you've since slowed down in that department. But I was curious, did Sage the Gemini really kind of have a helping hand in that?
Yeah, man, that's crazy. He called me one day, and he was like, hey, man, how serious are you into that? I'm like, why? It was, I did some reading on it, man. I really care about you as a friend, and I just want you to know what it does to your body, this and that. And at the time, I had already began slowing down on it, and it was amazing to me that somebody I just met who had as much concern about me. So shout out to him, man. Always been a good kid, though.
Yeah, hell yeah. And Sage, of course, being from the Bay, where I believe it's referred to as thizzing. In fact, they have a popular website out there called Thizzler on the Roof.
Well, two different things. The thizz thing is more like an ecstasy thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But speaking of which, though, is it true that you actually had like a stalker at one point, like sending you pictures of rooftops or something?
I've had some different type of situations. When I say, I don't want to call them stalkers. I'm just gonna say intense fans. We'll just say that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But shout out to them, man. You know what I'm saying? And just for showing the love and keep on being intense.
But was someone really sending you pictures of rooftops though? Like why rooftops?
I've been sent pictures of so many things
that
I didn't believe I'd ever get sent pictures of.
Okay, yeah.
So, I mean, I say if anybody just take their time out to recognize that they love what we do that much.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna shit on it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Snoopy spends a lot of time on the roof. With that in mind, I know Snoop Dogg kind of threw you a bone early on in your career.
Threw me the bone.
Yeah, gave you your first check in exchange for writing some songs. Whereas Lucc, I understand you kind of got your start thanks in part to the Nike Girls.
Somebody did their homework over here. I see that.
Right, Nike Girls was my sister and her crew. That was my first rappers who I looked up to coming up as a youngin'. I wasn't even rapping yet. She started writing my raps on some She Get Down. I wasn't really interested, but I was intrigued by her and her life.
Yeah.
She would go to all the parties and meet the rappers and know the rappers, and she would be on 1580K Day, all the time. So that's the first person I looked up to as far as my heroes.
Crazy.
As a rapper, yeah. That's crazy.
And you mentioned her writing your raps. Do you remember that first one by chance?
Yeah, but
would you mind sharing it?
No.
You're good on that?
I was 10 years old, man. Some things are just for, hey, man, it's for family. It's just for family, man, 10 years old, she wrote my first rap, and I do know it. I just have the guts to spit it.
Okay, fair enough. And you originally started rapping under the name T. Capone?
This is very true. But yeah, and you have to understand, like, I'm a little older than these guys. You know what I mean? So, I was coming up. I was a writer first. I was a tagger. I went by the name of Tech.
Okay.
And when I started rapping, Capone was like I know a gangster from like every hood named Capone. Something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So coming from the east side of town and then going to school in the west, I kind of just infused the gangster with the rapping.
Okay.
It was corny, but it was what it was. That was my name at first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Bad Lucc, as I understand, kind of came from like your battles back in the day.
Yeah.
Problem, did you ever battle a fellow by the name of Problem Child?
Yes, I definitely did.
Problem versus Problem?
Yeah, well, actually, it was Problem versus that guy because I'm still here.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what the craziest part about that whole situation was that me and him had just fresh understood what the internet was at the time.
Yeah.
And for somebody to even give a damn about me, to talk about me,
right,
was like, whoa, this is crazy. I don't even get it. So we engaged in combat, man. We went back and forth a couple of times, and then I remember we had to drive to Lancaster because that was the only studio I had.
Yeah.
I had to drive an hour to go record the final disc record that got done. I had him talking at the beginning, and it pretty much devoured the
Wiped
whole
him
thing.
out.
It was it. And,
Well,
it was cool. It was
yeah,
done after that.
Yeah. And it makes sense that you would be able to wrap circles around people because wasn't your first performance actually at World on Wheels?
Yes. And you know, it was my second performance.
Oh, really?
But it was my first as Problem, Deranged Entertainment. I was the producer, but they just gave me a spot.
Oh, okay.
But you know, like all the girls ran up on me when I was doing my part.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, we got to get this kid more time on the mic.
Yeah.
But yeah, World on Wheels was the second time I performed ever.
Do you recall the first?
The first was at BB King's at City Walk. Had to sell tickets
Oh, right.
to do it. It was me and two dudes that I worked with. We had a job. We was at Food for Less. So both of them was my hype man.
Oh, okay.
I have the picture of him at my dad's house right now of that day.
That's awesome.
It's hilarious. Dude.
Yeah. And Luck, you've been shouted out on Wax by Ice Cube, even.
Yeah, man. Which is pretty amazing. Still to this day, I met Cube one time, and I was going to a radio interview. My man Damani had a radio interview in Palm Springs, and Cube was on his way out.
Yeah.
And I just shook his hand and said, "What's up?" So for him to do that was just amazing.
Yeah.
To me, I've never met Cube. Now, Crazy Tunes is DJ and Dub C. They're my guys. They're my big homies.
Yeah.
So I talk to them all the time about all kind of things, life, rap, all kind of things. But I've met Cube one time, and for him to do that is amazing because he was always my favorite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just amazing. I'm glad you even brought that up. It just almost got to chill over again just to hear it, man. It was crazy to me that he did that. Amongst the lineup of people he mentioned,
Yeah.
that was crazy to me.
Because it was like a unity type of a shout out.
It was. I don't know, man. You know what it was? I think it was what I was getting from that when he was first dropping names. It was a respect. They're down with this. Is who I'm down with.
Yeah.
You know, Cube don't mess with everybody.
Right.
He don't even do music with everybody.
Yeah.
You know, for him to say respect. You know, MC. I mean, this MC is down with us, or Dr. Dre down with us, Snoop Dogg is down with us, and then in the middle of all that, Bad Luck comes in there,
Yeah.
and then the world probably don't know.
Right.
But the people who know is like, wow, that's huge for him to do that.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. So shout out to Q for that, man.
Yeah,
Real.
absolutely. And Problem, I understand you've actually had conversations with a lot of West Coast legends regarding like this generation's camaraderie as opposed to previous generations.
Yeah, they actually like me and Luck. We're considered Diamond Lane Musical. We're considered a golden era. We're just young enough to be able to compete with what's going on, but we're old enough to understand what was.
Right.
So we figure we're like the bridge.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? When everybody was trying to go at the OGs for not doing whatever they thought they were supposed to do, we were with them.
Yeah.
And then when the new generation came, we were with them as well. We understood it.
Yeah.
So the big homies always told us, don't do this, don't do that. Do this, do that, do this. Don't stay away from this because this got us that, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
We was able to give that to the new generation and still being a part of the new generation. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, like I can't say enough about the elder statesmen that represent the West Coast.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying? Because from top to bottom, I'm talking about from the Bay down to Dago, I've been able to have conversations, work with, and do things on and off the court.
Yeah.
With all of them.
Absolutely.
With everyone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just to be able to say that is amazing. You know what I'm saying? So,
definitely.
yeah.
Now, weed is, of course, known for bringing people together.
Very true.
Is your mom still a medical marijuana grower?
She's definitely still a medical marijuana grower. She's actually house sitting my home right now. She just hit me today asking me for, because, you know, shout out to Daddy's Pipes. They supply all my herbal essences. She was asking me could she go up there and go grab a couple of things.
Oh, yeah.
You know, shout out to my mom.
Does she have, like, a dispensary or anything, or?
No, she just grows for her own personal use.
Okay,
for us. You know, she cooks with it.
Yeah.
But outside of the obvious reason to be high,
yeah,
she's found medical purposes for it.
Right.
Excuse me. As far as to keep me healthy and different herbs and different things to further my growth while I'm out here.
Totally.
Tearing it down and giving all my energy every night.
Yeah.
So.
And at least she's going about it legitimately because, like, didn't you actually grow up across the street from, like, a border smuggling house or something?
I didn't. I didn't grow up across the street from one,
Okay.
but there was once my once my longtime neighbors moved out. They started renting the house out to some people that turned it into that.
Oh, okay.
And I kind of saved their lives, I heard. You know what I'm saying? Long story, but you'll see that in the behind the music that I'm putting out in a few years. Nah, it's a crazy story. Like, it was crazy, but yeah.
But
it definitely was a border house across the street.
Because didn't they, like, get busted even?
Yeah.
Eventually?
It was crazy when they got busted. Yeah, gunshots, dogs getting shot, and people scattering all over the place. I never seen anything like that in my life. It was the craziest shit ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and me both.
I can't wait to tell y'all the whole story. It's going to
Okay.
be crazy.
No, looking forward.
Yeah.
But, Luck, I understand you were, like, snuck into quite a few meetings early on thanks to, like, a pager that had been lost and found?
Yeah, my old manager, Dre. Shout out to Dre, man. Dre actually was in a club one night and found remember those old two-way pagers, and that pager happened to be somebody of importance. And I don't know who to this day, but his contacts were all like executives and presidents and stuff like that. So what Dre would do was he would call the contacts like, "Yo, you know, we still got that meeting for Bad Lucc today at 3," and they're like, "Well, I mean, I don't see it on the thing, but you know, come on in if you want to."
Yeah.
And that's how we got like the first 10 of my meetings had it happen like that.
That's crazy.
And once I'm in here, I just did my thing, and that's how
Yeah.
my name got around early on when I doing this rap thing. That's why I had to quit my job, because I would go to these meetings,
Yeah.
and my name would start picking up, and I started having these little meetings, and I had to leave my job, and you know, it was a great time, man. But Dre was a hustler for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, a manager, man. You know, your manager has had no pride.
Right.
He has to go hard and do whatever he got to do to get you the dollar, get you in the building. So much respect to Dre for that. I was my first manager.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Do you still have your beeper by chance, Problem?
I actually don't have it. It got lost in the crowd. One of my
for real?
shows, somebody took it off my waist. I do have a replacement coming. I will revitalize the beeper world.
Yeah.
So be on the lookout. Problems, Chachis, all of our pages will be back in full effect very
Okay.
soon.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, that was in large part to eliminate distractions when you're in the studio, but it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot that can phase you, though, because wasn't there actually a time when, like, people were having sex while you were recording?
Yes, including me, but it just kind of you kind of just disclaimer. Put a disclaimer right underneath when you say that. Me, man, I'm with the vibe. I'm with the vibe of the room. Whatever's going on, it gives me something to talk about. I learned that from Corrupt. He told me when they made Ain't No Fun, that's what was going on in the room.
Oh, for real?
He said always use the room. Always use the room. So, nah, man, anything going down, man, I can
is
talk
that
about
a common
it.
occurrence then, or was it more of a one-off type thing?
I mean, you know, you have to be in the studio to find out. Yeah, I can't
Fair
get, like I
enough.
said, behind the music, VH1 will happen, and one day you'll get all these stories. Nah, I'm just saying. Nah, I mean, whatever goes down, man. It doesn't plan. I don't plan anything.
Yeah.
Let's just say that. Life happens.
Just go with the flow.
Life happens.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time, guys. It was great
Man.
chatting with you.
Hey, man, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for really being one of the few people that know us
Yeah.
and asking us things that haven't been asked. I appreciate that. Shout out to HotNewHipHop for always showing love to Diamond Lane Music Group. Be on the lookout for my new single, Andale, featuring Lil Jon, produced by Jalil Beats. Get ready for his next project and go download 354 Liftoff mixtape off that piff. What?
Problem, anything? I mean, sorry, Luck, anything else you want to add?
No, just everything he said.
Okay.
It's Diamond Lane, you know, we just doing it like that.
Yeah. Well, there you have it. Once again, I'm Damon Campbell, and this is Problem and Bad Lucc. Thanks for watching.
She wanted to be the first person to really speak up on the record. You know what I mean? Looking back on it, that's my whole take on it, you know, as, you know, myself being an artist, when I put out a song.
People always ask me, how did you and this guy connect? And I kind of just found him on a corner one day.
Chill. Hey.
You were on a corner.
Honestly, nobody's really pushing the boundaries as far as new music. You got the more established acts doing what they have to do, but like,